Hello and welcome to Decorating Pages. I am your host, Kim Wannop. Thank you for joining me, and number one, thank you for listening and watching on YouTube. I've really pumped up subscriptions lately and I'm super happy about that, so I'm glad that everybody's getting to see what we're talking about on this podcast because, it's visual, so that helps. So if you have any questions about what we're talking about, just hop on over to the YouTube page and check out the accompanying videos that I make of this because it takes me a long time to do it. So please just check it out. Okay, thanks. I hope everyone had a great Labor Day. Yes, nice day off, I hope, for some people, and appreciating the hard labor that we all do, especially in our business. I'm not going to lie. I have been watching TV because I'm not working right now. And I have been watching some great old films. I never saw Remains of the Day. I know, crazy, right? And it was nominated for production design in, I believe, 1993. It's a really good film. It's Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson and kind of a love story. It's very Downton Abbey. If you're into Downton Abbey, go back, watch this one. The production designer, Lucia Argyi, and decorator Ian Whitaker, they both did Howard's End, so they were nominated for this and Howard's End in 1993. So they must be part of the Merchant Ivory team, So yeah, kudos. Beautiful old home. Christopher Reeve is in it, which is, you look at him, it's just sad. It must have been right before his accident. I didn't look it up, but this was 93, probably shot 92, and I think his accident was like 93 or 94. So, yeah, very great. It's great to see Superman up and walking around. So, yeah. Another oldie but goodie I had never seen was Royal Wedding with Fred Astaire from 1951. Designed and decorated by the awesome team of Cedric Gibbons and Willis. I have a whole class coming up about these two guys. I did not speak about this film. That's why I wanted to go back and watch it again. And it's weird to me that they weren't nominated for it, which I think is weird. But this is the famous scene where Fred Astaire is dancing and he goes up the walls and on the ceiling, and how, the camera turns, and it's really a fascinating decorated set and design set. So I'm sure, obviously it's inspired many things. 2001. So yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. It's a sweet film. Very sweet film. You know what's sweet? Alien Earth. Oh my goodness. Alien Earth. Noah Hawley. I love almost everything he does. Pretty much everything he does. Alien Earth is so good. It's not like a typical Alien series. It's not all scary and we don't really know the lingo. We don't know what they're talking about. There's some really good character development here. The acting I thought is really good. The sets are phenomenal. Another phenomenal, I can't even believe it's TV type thing. Production designers Andy Nicholson and Jason Knox Johnson. Kudos, my bros. Really fantastic. And there's 3 set decorators on here. I believe it. Dominic Campion, Mark Rosinski, and sorry, I'm going to butcher this one, Warwican Waratumegankun. Sorry. But great decorating. I know how tough it is to do space. I know about all those buttons. It's really well designed and fantastic story. I know if you're not into aliens or scary things, it's not that scary. It's more about the story. So I can't recommend it better. I'm bummed. I was going to binge it all and then I couldn't wait. So I've only seen what's been released, which I think is like 4 or 5 episodes. So yeah, get on that. It's on Hulu. It's so good. I'm not kidding. What else is going on? I don't know. That's about it. So this episode will also be on YouTube. Please subscribe. Check it out. Check out the website for everything that I talk about and all of these little pieces of organization. I have linked to the Decorating Pages Amazon page if you are in need of anything that I'm talking about. And good luck. stay organized. I hope you enjoy. This episode is all about getting organized and how I keep organized in the art department and set decorating department. It's taking me a long time. I've been a decorator for 20 years and I've tried many things, and I'm going to let you in on a couple of the things that have been tried and true and have worked out for me, and hopefully they'll help you stay organized, whether you're working in Hollywood or working out there in the real world. I don't know. To be honest, I got an email from someone who had completed the masterclass and asked about more organizing tips. And I had a template already for an episode of this, and I didn't think there was enough there to make it a whole episode, but here I am. I think it's share worthy. I think it could help some people, so why not? So there you go. So thank you for that tip. I would have to say, number one, it's really all about keeping organization for you. So what works for me might not work for you, obviously, but here are things that I've tried. I would have to say that years ago, I made up a template for sets, like don't forget rugs, don't forget lamps, don't forget like things like that, because I seriously would go through some sets and be like, oh my God, did I get rugs? Did I get dishes? Did I get this? But every set is so different. It's hard to, number one, keep track of everything, and that's why it's really all in your brain and photos at this point. But I did make up a checklist that I had used for a good amount of sets, and I have included that in the quick reference set decorating template that I give out free if you sign up on the Decorating Pages podcast website. So you can check that out. You can have it. And that template I did use for a while, but then it becomes so second nature of what you need for a set, and every character being different. And so then I just didn't use it because I didn't need it anymore. I evolved from that. And I think that's one of the things too about organization is you're going to evolve throughout your career, and you're going to see that, oh, that used to work for me and now that's crazy. Like photos, like people used to, the first job I had, the decorator had a instant photo, like she was taking Polaroids of chairs and stuff, because one of the jobs used to be to go get the film developed, and then you'd have all your chairs and you'd do like physical boards of pictures of your sets. And yeah, no, you don't have to do that. I'm going to get to what I do for pictures. So, but one of the things that I use is apps. There's one app that I have used for a very long time, which is called Notability. And I can load in the scripts, and it syncs from my iPhone to my iPad to my computer. I can highlight, I can make notes, and I've been using that app for a really long time. I would say probably at least 8 or 10 years, as long as it's been around, I think. It also has a lot of great templates on there for calendars and checklists and things. And I've tried to do that. I've tried to make calendars for the sets, and it just takes me too long because the sets change. I mean, if you're on a film and you have a set, shooting schedule, then that's great. But TV, I feel like things change too quickly, and I don't have time to keep updating my own calendar. There has been times that the art department coordinator has made up like a Google Calendar for everyone to follow for changes and everything. And even that, sometimes things don't get reflected quick enough for my world or but that can be used also. I think a Google Calendar is one of the great things too. So Notability, I've used that. Another app that I don't use, but I know a couple of production designers really like, is called Scriptation. And that you can load in your sets. You can load in your script and say you're on the white version and you make notes, and then the blue version comes out, see, that's when it kind of gets like, oh, I have to renumber things or whatever. This will transfer your notes to the next script. I don't know how it knows what scene number and all that, if scene numbers have changed, so I don't know how that rolls, but I know that people like it. And I know, people use it, so it's out there. Scriptation is another app. But the bottom line for apps, just try them out. See what works for you. If it doesn't feel natural, don't force the apps. And, there's no perfect system for this at all. My second organizational tips is emails and calendars. I already talked about the calendars, but the emails. Here's what helps me tremendously to stay organized is I set up a Google Gmail filter of the production, whoever's sending out the production emails, 1 million a day, whoever that person is. I set up a filter to put them into their own folder so that if I need that email, what time is that meeting? That email came out this morning. I can just go right to man on the emoji, a man on the inside folder. And there it is. Oh, meeting's at 11 o'clock. I don't have to filter through my 700 other emails that have come in since then. And I'm not joking. There's probably like at least 12 or 15. But it's a lot. And it's junk mail or it's important or anything. But Google Gmail filters, I find help really well. And I can go back like, oh, there was that email on that other show that gave us the directions to this place or whatever. And I can go back and look in For All Mankind, that folder, and see, oh yeah, we use that there. So it is helpful in that sense too, of keeping older shows organized. And everything I'm telling you, I'm just trying to save you time. That's our biggest thing. Now, so again, the Google Calendar, that helps if you have a coordinator, if you have the art department coordinators into it and they can do it, and then you have a separate a separate tab and color in your Google Calendar, that helps. It has helped definitely me of like, oh, when is that shooting? Because you're not putting everything to memory all the time, and things change so much that you can't memorize everything. So having these filters and these calendars, I find really help me. So I just think that they're a lifesaver. And if you can get your coordinator to do it or someone on your team to keep up with it, it's fantastic. I have found I don't have enough time to do it myself, but I like when it's done. That's what I would say. So number 3, that I work seamlessly with my buyers or my lead man, I use notes, because notes, again, will transfer and update itself from your computer to your iPad to your phone. And what I do is set up a note for episode 201. And then in the header production meeting, and then in the production meeting, I make all my notes in notes. And then I share that with my buyers or my lead man to know like what came up of, scripted kitchen. They're going to change that to a bedroom, things like that. So information that I'm getting out quickly to people who need to know. And, once they open up notes, they have whatever I'm writing there. So it's great in that sense. And then after production meeting, art department meeting, so I keep 201, I keep all of the notes for one episode in one note so that it's all there. And if like, oh, in the shooting schedule, it now says this, but now we're going back to the bathroom, things like that. And then we can always check on each other. And you even can put in there if, say, if I make a note, then my buyer can put on her thing like an alert if that note has been changed. So then he or she knows if I made a change to that note, it's been updated. And sometimes it's a lot of dings. So I don't know if I recommend that, but it's helpful, I would say. The other thing that I simply can't live without now in our world is photo sharing albums. I think it's a perfect thing for our world. If the buyer is out and looking up chairs, and he or she takes photos of 10 chairs, she uploads it to Henry's House album. Great. Henry's House album. Now they have his sofas, his chairs, his artwork, all that stuff in one album. And then we make another album, Henry's House Selects. And then from what I pick and select goes into that. And then visually for me, seeing that I've collectively got everything. Did I get rugs? Did I get lamps? Things like that. But also, is it all working together? And you can see all that in your album. So I know believe me, it becomes a lot of albums for me every set having 2 albums, but it works. This system works. So I don't really know what other decorators do. I think we all do this now, I'm pretty sure. But if you're not photo sharing your albums and doing it like this, I'm telling you, it's a huge time saver. And also, I can upload all the location photos to this album so the buyers can see right when I'm scouting what this is. And sometimes, hey, I'm scouting this now and it shoots tomorrow. Here it is. Here's measurements. Here's everything. And so photo-wise, we're all synced up together. It's the best thing. It's the absolute best thing for us, I feel. So that was it. So notes and photo sharing. Yeah. And then you used to be, and you could flag things. You can write measurements. I mean, there's another app instead of markup on, there's another app that you can write measurements on, and I forgot what that was. But there is another app that makes it much simpler to write down measurements on photos. I'll have to get that to you. I'll put it in the notes after this. So there you are digitally. Now, number 4, paper. I mean, I still, as much as digital I am and everything syncs up, I still always have paper with me. I still always have my notebook. This Clairefontaine, it's Clairefontaine, right? Clairefontaine notebooks I have been using since Bones. I'm not even kidding. Because it has grids, so I can do a little floor plan. It has tabs, so I can write the episode number. Every episode gets a tab, or if you're on a film, every set gets a tab. I have been in love with these notebooks since I discovered them, and I have kept pretty much all of my notebooks for 20 years, and I keep carting them around. I don't know why. I'm going to go look at notes from Parks and Rec, but I find it to be the best system for me because of the grids and because of the tabs. It really helps me out. Once I couldn't find these, and then I tried to make tabs in a notebook. Did not work out. But I do find sometimes your iPad's not charged, and sometimes it's harder to read on your phone, or it's just not working for you. Always have hard copy pen and paper in your scout bag. Now that's what I'm going to say. But these notebooks have always been great for me. I've linked them in the Decorating Pages Amazon store, and you can check that out. I have a link on the website for all these physical organization tools that I use day to day. So I hope that helps. That is on the website, decoratingpagespodcast.com, and then up top it should say shop. I think it says shop. I should figure this out before I get on here. But, all right. Number 5, you're going to go through finding out what works best for you. What is your best system? And obviously, I've tried many things, templates and apps and photos. We've tried them all. And I'm always down for trying something new and seeing if something can make it easier, because it's a lot of information coming to you all the time. So you want to be comfortable with your own system. When I start a job, I usually always ask someone I haven't worked with before, can you do photo share? Can you work like this? And most people are like, yes. But if it doesn't, and we have to find another system, and sometimes that works better. So you never know. Be open to other people's suggestions too. You never know. This might work on a film, but it doesn't work in TV. things like that. So anything to save you time will help you. So be open to learning new ways of organizing. And I think that's the best approach, is every once in a while, go and look for a new app. Go and look for like, oh, what does this button in PhotoShare mean? Because I never use it, or things like that. So just don't be afraid to ditch your own system and find something new also, because you never know. It could be the best, and you wouldn't have known if you hadn't tried it out. So that's my breakdown of how I stay organized. See, it's short and sweet. It's not a long one. If you want to see, again, the actual notebooks and things that I use, it's in the Amazon store. I'll link that in the notes. And let me know. Let me know if you have any tips, or put them in the YouTube notes, or, email me, and I will shout that out to everybody. So, yeah, I hope you stay organized. I do the best I can. I must say, there are way too many times that my iPad isn't charged. And so I reach for that notebook many, many times. And a lot of times when I'm doing checklists, I don't think I've ever really found anything that helps me do a checklist. There's one app on my phone that I use called Smart Tasks. I also use that, and that's like a system of like checking things off. It's not great, but I use that, and I use the free version, Smart Tasks. I also use that. But then I forget to look at it. So there's your other problem. But yes, life's moved pretty fast. So you got to stay organized in our world. So good luck. And again, let me know if you are doing something better than I am. I would love to know. Thank you. I hope you got an earful. I'm Kim Wannop for Decorating Pages.